Yo, this is a pretty cool one here. This Terrell, Hall of Fame, D-line. This is Bully Rants. I'm all over the place today. Turn my hat backwards. On this one, actually, a lot of people say on Bully Rants, I don't talk about my dogs. I don't talk about programs that much. I just tell about everything else. And so they asked me about the most popular member of the family, which is Denzel. My thoughts. He's a very nice dog. Not the best dog I've owned. I think his mother gets that title. But he's a beautiful dog. Moves very well. I think the best thing about him, though, we all know, or maybe you don't know, but Denzel is, as far as shows go, he was king. You know, his mom was first ABKC champion. He's the ABKC champion. He's the first ever BBCR champion. He's the first ever UBKC champion, which is now defunct. 2010 ABKC Nationals champion. And I think the coolest thing about it for me, being his producer and his owner and, you know, his friend, that's my pet that comes in the kitchen begging all the damn time. But is that as I look at the bully game right now, and I look at the expansion of the bully game, and I see things, and I know we're in a competitive nature, so no one ever wants to give anybody credit, and especially, you know, they don't want to give me any credit for anything. But, you know, to even see like this year's Nationals champion is a Denzel, I think, great-grandson. You know, Magoo sold for whatever. He's the highest rated selling dog ever. He's a Denzel grandson, you know. I mean, Denzel, Bison, triple grand champion Bison. I think he's the first grand champion to get a championship in 3 different registries, and he's the first ever champion in one of the registries himself. That's a Denzel son. Uno is grand champion. Uno was used as the picture for the standard on the ABKC. I mean, I can go on and on. I mean, the dude's produced countless champions. I mean, you know, and even other dogs, you know, that are not champions, you know, are based off of him, where you see it's 2 and 3 times Denzel. And I think that's one of his biggest marks, and the biggest credit that I give him for it, that he wasn't just a pretty dog, or he isn't just a pretty dog, let me say that, but he's a dog that you know, has you know, put his money where his mouth is, so to speak, and he's produced a legacy that will last for a very, very, very long time, just from seeing all of the dogs, not only in this country but around the world, that are thriving and winning championships, and, you know, being good representatives of the breed. You know, I don't like to get into those ratings, but yeah, I do personally feel that when it's all said and done, he should always be ranked in the top 10 at the very least, and in my opinion, probably top 5 dogs of all time, just for accomplishments. Now, you know, the crowning achievement for me, and that's going to be the change that you see on this page, is that, excuse me, I got allergies, but Denzel is well over 8 years old now. I think he turned 8 like 3 or 4 months ago, and he's still crazy, man. Him and Mandela run around the house getting on my nerves sometimes at 3 and 4 in the morning. He's still tying bitches. He's still very active. You know, he's still jumping up on people, and he acts really, he doesn't act a lot different than he did when he was 2 or 3 years old. You know, he looks good, he still moves good, he has no problem with his walk, and I see him passing that on to his kids, that as they get older, I actually have one of his sons here, Castro, that's starting to get older, and he's the same way, still very athletic, still very feisty, still very, very fertile and jumping up on these bitches and giving them the business. That's what we shoot for at Hall of Fame. We've always shot for being, you know, whether it's Hall of Fame Midwest, or Hall of Fame Rhode Island, we've always shot to be not only producers of beautiful dogs, but producers of dogs that when we send to people, is the dog's gonna live for a long time. You know, outside of this bully world, you know, that's where the majority of my dogs go. Inside the bully world, the dogs that y'all see, you know, there's we've done well, but outside of the bully world, and I'm not one of those people to tell everybody I sold a dog to, but we have dogs in some very prominent homes, celebrities, athletes, politicians, doctors. We have dogs everywhere, and the one thing I love is when these people call me or send me pictures of their family pets, which I will not post because, like I say, I feel like that's their personal thing. If it's not a show dog, I'm not going to post it. But they're always happy. Oh, he's just such a great dog. He's active. I don't have very many problems at all with him. And that's the good feeling that you have, because yes, it's nice to win and show, but as a breeder to know that you're sending a good, sound, stable animal that will not only has a stable temperament, but has the ability to coexist in the family and be healthy and not a nuisance to everybody. That's our ultimate goal. I hope and pray that I will reach my goal with him and the rest of the dogs to stretch their lives out, well over a decade, and continue to breed healthier and healthier. And in the long run, that's the type of dog that we're producing, because as we've always said, health first. So yeah, in closing, I love my dude to death. To everybody else, he's a show dog, he's a stud, he's a that, but here he's just a dude who likes to lay next to the toilet and beg for crackers. And I love him to death. I've had a great experience having him here, and he's retired, so he lives a good life besides a couple breedings every now and then. I guess that's a good life. But he has been a good dog, and I feel like, and it's nice to hear people like Ron Ramos and Dave Wilson and a lot of people I respect. I'm not going to say every name, but as far as the American bully goes, that thinks pretty much a lot like I do, that he has been a great representative and that his blood is a staple in the American bully community. And overall, I'm sure you haven't seen the last of him. We will be at Nationals this year, and y'all can check him out. But life's good for the little fat guy. Hopefully he'll continue to get better. And, future's bright. On to the next chapter. Peace.